Good morning. Like I said, another sad day. We lost Olivia Newton-John, who a lot of us growing up in the 80s and such, knew that name. Very popular entertainer. Especially you folks remember like Grease, Xanadu, things like that. On top of her various musical hits, it does come as a blow. Um, but we got to pick up, move on, and go on from there. What I wanted to talk about this morning is, if I remember right, the line by Tom Baker, and I believe this was, I can't remember which episode. Great, now I'm blanking. About the very powerful and the very stupid have the same thing in common. They alter the facts to fit their views rather than altering their views to fit the facts. And we got a classic example of this going on over on the Dr. Freedom page. Because once again, I keep telling people, look, if you have any legitimate criticism, okay, but if you're going to go over there just to talk smack, adios muchachos, have a nice day, don't forget to write. I'll even play you an Oompa Loompa song on the way out. And sure enough, somebody began this tirade, literally a paragraph long, about how it was all, they were going to have to fight desperately to get back the paying fans of Doctor Who. And I'm like, and it turns out, yes, the fellow was from the UK, but I'm like, didn't you read just not that long ago? And then, of course, I countered with the article from Deadline and the article from Variety, which stated, and it's like, come on, Variety magazine has been around a long time, okay? Which, openly stated the facts, which is the BBC broke a record, set record gains. And, for the last couple of years, they hit well above their target mark, despite the fact that, people have been going on about ratings, views, and things like that. And I keep telling them, nightly ratings mean nothing now. If you look at the streaming figures, which of course they'll say, well, that's for all the Doctor Who, Whittaker Chibnall had nothing to do with it. And I'm like, that's like saying the John Nathan Turner era had nothing to do with it. Or the Moffat or the RTD bits had nothing to do with it. Well, I love this because then they countered with this. Get ready for this. This was hilarious. While they're making money, they're not making near as much as they were when Eccleston and Tennant and blah, blah, blah were on the show. And I'm like, did you miss the title? Let alone not read the article, but did you miss the title? Record breaking. Record breaking. What does that mean? Anybody? That means it broke all previous records. Sheesh, it's like sometimes I feel like I'm trying to diagram a sentence just to get this point across. And I'm not sure if it's true if Peter and Matt will be in the regeneration. It's just one thing I've heard, and I don't know if it's true because exactly, they broke previous records. Thank you, Mark. I know, we just talked about Olivia Newton-John, Mark, at the beginning, yeah. And apparently that didn't sink in. It's like that means it broke previous records. As in, including the years with Eccleston, Tennant, Matt Smith, and Capaldi. The problem is, this past few years have been pretty damn successful, despite all the naysaying, the crap about, well, the merch isn't selling, blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, the merch isn't selling. I mainly heard that from vendors at cons, and I keep telling them, guys, it's not like the old days where if you wanted to get something exclusive, you either in my case, you had to go to a convention, or you had to order it from like companies like Intergalactic Trading, who'd send you a catalog. Those days are long since extinguished and gone. Chances are, if you're out there and you're even the slightest bit internet savvy, which 99% of, well, 90% of people are these days, you just put up a vague description of something and boom, chances are it's there on Amazon, eBay, or some other service that you can get it from. So, yeah, like we had, paraphernalia from Beyond Planet X and things like that. Well, a lot of the problem with the stuff was this. Now, I don't know what's going on with Forbidden Planet, but Eagle Moss is also went into receivership or something like that. It was like a bankruptcy deal. But given the quality of some of their statues I've seen, like they tried doing the merch, not myth. I like that. But given the quality, like the current TARDIS console they put out, I was like, there was hardly any detail on it. I'm like, oh yeah, I've met Katie Manning once in person. She was at Chicago TARDIS a little while back, and like I said, she's just the force of nature. Oh, I think it was back before COVID hit, so I think that was a couple years ago. What? But what I'm saying is this. Like I told the guys, it's not the same ball game anymore. I know. The problem is this is what happened in my local stores. Out here in Lima, Doctor Who merchandise is like as rare as a Bigfoot sighting. Okay? It's like you got a better chance of seeing a UFO. The only place we had any Doctor Who merchandise going around was local Hobby Lobby. Okay? Yeah, I had no problem with this era of the show. Like any other era, it had its hits, it had its misses. Like I said, I can run through previous eras of the show where there were episodes that were phenomenal and there were episodes that titanically bombed. Well, here's the thing. Is Shooty going to be a gay doctor? Folks, they never really put a boundary on the Doctor, did they? Let us all not forget, back when Jack was on board with Eccleston, remember him and Eccleston had that flirty dialogue? So I didn't see the Doctor as being, limited sexually in any way, really. Now, back to where I was. Our local store was the Hobby Lobby. That was the only place that had any real Doctor Who merchandise. And then one day it was all gone. Except for some cups from the Capaldi era, and everything else that was left was thrown off into this other aisle and marked clearance. And then when you looked down the aisle, all you saw was DC, Marvel, Justice League, Avengers. That whole aisle had been redirected towards Marvel and DC merchandise. And that's what happened. Those big movies hit, like Wonder Woman, all that stuff. And, of course, we know the Avengers movies. They, boom. That was the merch they started carrying. And this even happened in the other stores that didn't even have Doctor Who merchandise. A lot of Avengers stuff going on. I have no idea what's going on with Joker 2 because, frankly, I have no interest in it. I'm still trying to figure out what the big, hoop-de-da was about the movie Joker. It bored the crap out of me. I tried watching it on like 3 or 4 different occasions. And every time, about an hour in, I was out cold. I was bored. And then I think I made it to it once, actually. And I'm like, it's using all the usual tropes. Oh, look, the imaginary relationship that you find out at the end was in his head. It's been there, done that 100,000 times before. And I'm like, wow, Joaquin Phoenix acting like he's insane. That's a stretch. Take a look at his track record on interviews. Brilliant actor, but I don't think there's, been, anyone flushing the bats out of the belfry in a while. Okay? I have not seen the Batman yet. I've been meaning to. I watched about a few minutes of it, but then I had to get up and run. First few minutes I saw looked great. Okay, I'm not going to lie. But like I said, just 3 hours to dedicate to a movie is a lot. Okay? Yeah, they keep shuffling things through. Oh, I love Peacemaker. Yeah. Can't get it. I'm looking forward to the next season of that. Yeah, I don't like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Like I said, it just did not entertain me at all. And Jared Leto's was sad. Jared Leto's Joker they introduced in like Suicide Squad was terrible. Oh gosh, it's like, oh god, it was like doing things to yourself with a cheese grater. Sure, it was mildly amusing, but mostly irritating. Okay, it just didn't work. Yeah, Heath Ledger was fantastic. I loved his Joker. He was just boom. Oh, of course, yeah, I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She just really nails that. Oh yeah, trivia fact, the bit with the key, where she picked the key up with her foot and stuck it in the lock, she did all that. That wasn't stunts, that wasn't what you call it. So it kind of makes you wonder. That's a flexible young lady there. Okay. Well, folks, I just looked at the time, and I have to get running. But please, if someone had shown me, like I said, yes, the ratings went down, but the streaming figures went up. The profits went up. And it's like, they're trying to convince me this show's dead. And I'm like, remember it was supposed to have died in 2017, but here we are. It's 2022 coming up on 2023, and the show's still going. So you use your eyes, use your own, do your own thinking, as they say. All right, take care, everyone. I got to run in. Please be kind, be calm, be safe today. Take care of everyone if you can. Don't go crazy about the things you can't control, because that is definitely a way down the path to insanity. And we'll hopefully see you all in the future. Take care, everyone.